Hello, Nurja. I'm just looking at your JPEG and your PSD file that you turned in. So we don't have enough layers in here to meet the project requirements. If you look at the project worksheet, I was hoping for, let's see, it also says here 8.5 by 11, 300 ppi, 4 layers, and 2 clipping masks. An image of yourself, which you have. You have 1 clipping mask, so you need, let's see, 1 more clipping mask, and you need at least 4 layers, which you have about 2 layers in here in reality. So this layer doesn't really count because it's not doing much. You do have 1 clipping mask here, and you have your background layer. You are in RGB, so if you go into image mode, CMYK on that PSD file, to say don't merge and don't rasterize, you can push OK, and that will change it to CMYK color. Here, you actually do have this in CMYK, and it is high resolution, but these are not set up to the correct canvas size. So if we go to image canvas size and put this in inches, you can see it's 7.3 by 9.1. So we want to make this 8.5 by 11. Okay, and you're going to see that your layers need to be sized up. So let's go to the background layer and do a Command T or Control T if you're on a Windows. If you're on a Mac, you want to do a Command T. T as in transport. And then make that a little bit bigger once you get the blue X, and then push Return on your keyboard to make it stick. So a Command T will get you the blue X. That'll allow you to grab the edges and size up, and then push Return when you're done. And so that kind of fixed our problem with the sizing, at least on the PSD file. You would have to, re-export out your JPEG by doing a file, save a copy, making sure it's in CMYK color mode and high resolution. But let's add maybe another layer into this. We could go to Safari, we could go to Pexels.com. Look up basketball. Maybe we could find a good image of a basketball. Hopefully on like a simple background. This one might work. Download that. So that went into our downloads folder. It opened up in preview on my Mac automatically. But if I go into Photoshop, click on that, go in there, we're in Photoshop. Let's do a file open. Actually, no. File, place embedded. Let's go back to our downloads folder. There's our picture of our basketball. That'll bring that in. Let's just turn off the eyeballs on these so we can focus on the background and you. I turned the eyeball off on for now. It's just temporary. I'm making sure I'm on the layer with the basketball, and I'm going to go on my quick selection tool right here. Click and hold down if you need to, but it's underneath the object selection tool. Your tool panel might look like this, but you just need to expand it. And then we can click and drag over the basketball itself. Hopefully this is relatively simple. And it does look like it's going to go pretty easy for us. And then if I do select a mask here, oh, I'm missing part of it. So I can paint it in with the paintbrush, and by using the plus we can add. It's kind of a small brush size, so I can change the brush size here. And you can see how big it is now. And it'll go a little faster if I do it this way. And then I can subtract from the selection tool a little bit, because this is a little bit not wonderful here. Maybe I want to add again, because right here I want to add a little bit more in there and here. Just make sure. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I am going to add a feather. If this isn't open, you just need to open this up. There's little arrows here that can open up. So maybe under global refinements, we can put a little bit of a feather on there. You can see what that does. If you go too far with it, it doesn't look good, but 9 pixels is working pretty good. Output settings, we want to make sure this is on layer mask, and then push OK. So now we have our clipped basketball. We could add that underneath the image of you and bring these back in. Maybe something like this might work. And then, put that at the bottom, because it is cropped off. It would look better, centered at the bottom. And then you have a pretty good placement here because you're using the rule of thirds. But I might oh, it's locked. Okay, I'm going to unlock that. I'm going to move you up. I'm using my keyboard. I'm going to move you up just a little bit. I'm actually going to Command T on this layer here with the clipped basketball, and I'm going to actually bring it down in size a little bit too, just because it is kind of big, and then push return. So yeah, maybe something like that. We could always add in, you know, we could always make this have some sort of effect to it. Maybe hard light or something, and we could turn the opacity down a little bit just to kind of make it fade back into the background a little bit. I'm still not loving the clipping on this. It didn't turn out great, but you get the point. So that's 3 layers, so you'd have to find maybe one other thing to bring into the sky. And if you want to do that, I can update your grade to reflect that you've made those changes and that you've resized your canvas, you've added in another clipping mask, and then maybe one more layer from here. I haven't done that, but maybe you have plenty of room in the sky. You could add in a smaller element flying in the sky of some sort. Go through the same process of clipping that we did on the basketball. The quick selection tool works really well for selecting parts of the image and going to select and mask from there and making sure you put it on layer mask. So we could save this, you could turn this in, and then to get the JPEG, you do save a copy. This looks right. I just want to make this a JPEG file, and then you would save that to make the copy of the JPEG file as well. So if you want to resubmit the PSD and the JPEG file, kind of going along with some of the suggestions from this video, I can update your grade. All right, talk to you later. Bye.